why are you here?
Okay, my name is Carina Belmonte, and my focus is that I am a personal branding coach for founders and CEOs that want to build trust in their brand and business by building their authority, by building their story, and telling their audience, their clients who they are, what they believe, what is their purpose and intention. Yes.
So you are a personal branding coach, is that
Yes,
right?
I'm a personal branding coach. Yes, that's my focus.
Cool. So explain me, like, how does that look like? What does a personal branding coach do?
A personal branding coach is a type of coach that focuses on understanding how can your story become the authority in your space, which means how can your values, experiences, lessons that you all have lived through your journey can be used to connect with an audience, can be used to convert the audience that you're listening to by sharing your expertise. I extract highlights of your story so you can share it through your content and allow people to understand who you are, what you do, and how can you help them. And my intention is always, and this is a phrase that I always use, to become the authority, because it's not about the authority about being the king or something like that. It's about the authority to believe in yourself, the authority to be who you are, the authority to share what you have done, your experiences and your lessons. That authority, which can relate to confidence, is what people want to see when they see a CEO, a founder, entrepreneur, on video or in writing or a post. They want to see that you're confident on what you believe in. And if they don't see it, they will be like, why am I going to work with this person? He doesn't know what they want. So if he doesn't know, I don't know. So build confidence and authority.
Okay, that sounds very interesting. You mentioned quite a lot trust, right? And you quite often, even in your content, you talk a lot about building trust in your brand, building trust in your brand. So even earlier when I scroll down through the content, that's like kind of the key phrase that comes up to
Yes.
my eyes. So how does that look like building trust in your brand?
So basically, the most important thing that people are looking online is if they can trust what you're saying, if they can trust the content that you are providing, if they can trust when they go into your website that those testimonials are real, that your experiences is real, because there's too many fakers around. You know that. We all know that. So what I basically tell people is that if you want to build a brand, we have to start with trust. But in order to do that, you have to understand yourself. You have to understand, how do you want to show up? Why do you want to show up? Who do you want to help? That will help you build your own confidence. Trust yourself, trust your message. So when people hear you or read about you or read what you post, they will feel that trust because you believe in what you're sharing, what you're saying. And another way to build that trust is through storytelling, to be vulnerable, tell them, hey, I started from nothing and this is how I got here. I lived through this, this, and this. My entrepreneurship journey wasn't 0 to 100K in 1 month. It was because of this. Trust is about sharing your story, sharing what you have been through. Now, it's very easy to get online and say, yeah, you can earn 100,000K in 1 month doing this. Of course, everybody does that. And you can see it on TikTok, but people are so bored with that content. People want to see the messy background. People want to see the messy process. And that's how you build trust, by showing them that nothing happens overnight. And by proving to them that what I do is for real, that my clients are real, that I'm not someone that you're going to see on social media promising things that don't happen, that don't exist, because we see that all the time.
You mentioned sharing your personal story, right? Like showing the messy part of doing your stuff, being an entrepreneur. So in my agency, we have like a content creation agency, we have advertising, now we have coaching, right? So recently I have a conversation with a new client about the content. And I was actually saying to a client, like, I want one post a week to be about your pain, right? I want you to show the people that you didn't get where you are because you just woke up one day and just fairy dust, right? I wanted to share with you, with the audience, with the people, how difficult it was, what are your downfalls, and very often I get this response like, I don't want to be seen as a weak. I don't want to show my weaknesses to the people. I want them to see me as a powerhouse. So I'm sure you face this kind of rejection from clients or people. And I'm interested, how do you deal with it?
Okay, that's a great question. Yes, I had a client like that I told him, we have to talk more about your journey as you became an entrepreneur. Most of the people that I coach are founders, are men that are seeking for people to connect with them. Honestly, most of my clients are men, not because they want, just happens. And they say, but they have the same answer, but I don't want them to see me that, that I don't show up as perfect, or that it took me this many years, or it's like, that's what people want to see. So how did I do that? For example, I had this client and I told him, tell me your story. What made you become an entrepreneur? Can you tell me that? Like, tell it to me. Well, my father was an entrepreneur. My mother was an entrepreneur. I have a family of 7, and everybody started to understand that entrepreneurship is a lifestyle. I was born into entrepreneurship, and I had successful businesses. I had failed businesses. When he's finished telling me this story that I asked him, I told him, how do you feel when you tell me that? Well, I feel that nothing happened overnight. Exactly. And that's what people want to hear, because if you want to empower people to work with you, they don't want to see your perfect side all the time. They want to see that you became this entrepreneur of 10 years because it took you 10 years to become this entrepreneur. It didn't take you 1 month or 2 months. And if you don't show that, then you cannot, let's not use the word whine. You cannot protest and say, oh, why people are not connected with me? Why people are not leaving a comment? Why people don't want to work with me? Because they don't know you. Because they only know what you are allowing them to know, which is the perfect way of living. And perfection doesn't sell. It doesn't. Insecurities, messy process, vulnerability, that sells, because it means that you're human. So if you're human, I can trust you. That sells. If you want to make money, show what you have done and how you did it, and how you're going to help people shorten that time so they can do it too. Because you took 10 years and now you're telling them, but now with me, it's going to take you, let's say, 1 year. It's an example. That's what people want to see, not the perfection.
And I see quite a lot of gurus, and actually I've been part of a few workshops in the past, right? And I can see like it's, I don't want to say it's a trend, but I see it like coming up. People, these gurus, coaches are focusing on teaching people about how they appear, right? Which is a little bit like counter of what we're just talking about, right? They say like you should look perfect, you will look cheap otherwise, you should look expensive, you should look like the way you present yourself is actually creating value, perception about your value in the viewer's eyes. So what do you think about that? Because like it bears some truth in there is some truth in that, right? Like the perception people have about yourself. But then you have Gary Vee with like his head back, and like, or Chris Do, who don't really care how they look like, right? And they're the biggest influencers. There's quite a lot of ads popping up on my wall for some reason. I don't know why. They tell me I need to wear a suit in order to get sales, right? So like, what is your taking on this kind of thinking and teaching?
Well, it has to do with your brand identity, like, because there's different ways to see brand. There's your brand voice, your brand identity, your brand mission, your purpose, right? So your identity is the way that you show up, the way you edit your videos, the way that you speak, the way that you dress. If you have a specific clothing style, a little hat, a little hoodie, or you have a shirt that says always the name of your company, like everyone has different ways of showing up. Does it matter if you look well? Of course. Like, you want to look good on camera. You want to feel confident. You don't want to feel like you're always in pajamas. Like, you want to look good. But it first starts like, do I look good when I show up on camera? Do I feel confident? Yes. Do I need to become someone else to feel good? No. If you don't want to, if you feel great how you are, wonderful. But also understand that first impressions matter. So you don't have to wear a suit, but you do have to look presentable. You do have to speak with confidence. You do have to understand what you're sharing. It doesn't matter if you have a t-shirt, if you have a suit, if you have a Lambo. No, just share what you know. Do it with confidence. Get clear on what is that you want to share. The more clear you are, the more people are going to respect you, are going to see you, are going to understand you, and they won't care if you have a hoodie. They will care about your message. But also people will know when you're trying to pretend, when you're trying to, work so hard to have that Lambo and that suit and those chains and that watch. Like, you're trying too hard. Come on. People can see through that too. You don't have to become someone else to be who you are. But also you do have to care of how you show up because it helps you feel good, right? It helps you.
Yeah, of course. I recently saw one account I follow for a long time and says that the biggest mistake this person ever did was trying to be authentic, and like nobody used to take her seriously. And now, like when she's wearing dresses and being fancy schmancy, like now she's making a lot of money, right? And that's her new program, and that's what she sells. Like, stop trying to be authentic, stop trying to be yourself. People don't give a shit about it. You need to look $1 million. You need to talk $1 million if you want to make $1 million. Which I don't think so she makes $1 million, but this is a message that I also see quite a lot, right? From a lot of people that look like they're very big. Maybe they are. So what is your take on that? Like, where is the fine line between what's right and being authentic, right? Because, like, let's see, what is authentic first?
Okay,
Like,
so authentic for me is accepting who you are. Accepting who you are, what you believe in, and also authentically understanding what do you need to let go, because maybe you have some certain habits and certain beliefs that are playing against yourself and you need to let them go. That also is being authentic with yourself. But it starts with you. Now, I see a lot of people forcing themselves to be authentic, which is the opposite of authenticity. If you're forcing yourself to be authentic, so some people think that to be authentic, you need to share everything, like overshare everything, and share from the moment you wake up in pajama with your hair all crazy, and then having sharing the relationship with you have with your partner, or when you're going to visit the dog, or whatever it is that is your oversharing style. That is too much sometimes. You have to ask yourself, how can my experiences help others through their journey? Which means, what is that you focus on? If you're a real estate agent and you just arrived to Miami, let's give you an example because I live in Miami and there's too many real estate agents here. And you want to show up in a different way, which tells people that you're not only the bling bling real estate agent. You just want to, show up and sell the dream house to your clients. So what I would say is, like, you have to talk about what it means to have that dream house, what it means to have that vision. What is that dream? Like, you have to talk about what it is, a dream house, and then start showing. So this is what I believe you will be comfortable with, and this is why I like it. And give your opinion why you like this certain house, certain apartment, certain boats, if you're real estate agents of boats. But you have to put your opinion and your beliefs on what you're doing. That doesn't mean oversharing. It means really getting to know yourself. And if that means that you want to dress like a millionaire to, envision that you're going to be a millionaire, okay, respect that. But don't lie to yourself and tell to yourself, I won't show up authentic because people won't invest in me. It means that you don't believe in yourself, that you don't like yourself. So that's why you're changing who you are. And if that is your message, you're telling other people who you are is not worth it. So you have to change it. And I'm not for that at all. I am for accept who you are, but also accept that you may have habits that you need to let go. So that's also part of the process. And what I always tell my clients when I'm sitting with them is like, look, this is a process not only about building your brand, but building your confidence and showing you that the more you understand who you are, the better you're going to feel when you show up on video, when you show up when you write your carousels, whatever it is. And you're going to start trusting your message, and your message is going to look stronger, and you're going to start connecting your story to your business. And you're going to like who you are, and people are going to like that person. But if you hide under what is that, this is what I do under your title, entrepreneur, real estate agent, marketer, you're blocking yourself from connecting with people. And that's not what personal branding is. Personal branding is about connecting your story to the purpose of your business. Those two need to be together.
Well, that was a good quote that you said there. I need to rewatch it and crop it in a quote. So if somebody like tried to start now and like they're sitting at home, they don't know what to do with their lives. They see you, they see me, other people making content, jumping all over the feed. Where should they start? What do you think are the first steps they need to do?
So the 3 actionable steps that I would recommend for someone that is starting and that doesn't know what to do or has a dream of becoming an entrepreneur but doesn't know where to start, let's say that, or their dream is to become a coach but they don't know where to start. Let's give you 3 actionable tips I can give you. First one, get clear on who you are, which means what are your experiences? What do you believe? What are your values? What have been your mistakes? Like, put a list down of all that you have gone through, all that you believe. So experiences, I've experienced this, this, and this. I have learned this, this, and this. I'm good at this, this, and this. I believe in this, this, and this. Great. Do that. That's the first step. Second step, what you can do. Now, when you look at all those things that you wrote, you have to ask yourself, who can I help with these experiences? Who can I help with these values? Who can I help with all this that I have learned through my journey? You're going to start seeing, well, maybe I can help coaches. If let's say you want to be a coach of video producers, okay? And you already are earning, let's say, $500,000 per month as a video producer. But now you want to become a coach, but you have no idea how to start. So you have to ask yourself, if I have 3 years of video production and I have earned $500,000 per month, who can I help with these experiences and with these values? You have to ask yourself, what video producers are out there? They're earning around 20 to 30K per month, but they want to get to 500,000 per month. So what is that journey? How can I take them from there to there? So it starts. Your experiences. I have been working 3 years as a video producer for real estate, and I earned $500,000 per month. Great. So that's one part of your experiences. You know about Premiere Pro. You know about editing. You know about color correction. You know how to talk to clients. All those things are so useful for someone that wants to go where you are. What do you believe in? I believe that you have to work with people that you like. I believe that you have to be kind with whoever it is that you're working with. I believe that you have to love what you do. Great. Those are your beliefs. What are your failures? Well, I remember when I got my first client and I wanted to charge $100,000 per project, and he laughed at me because he saw that I had no experience. Okay, so what did I learn from that process? You write it all down. And with this information, you're going to ask yourself, who can I help? And that's going to be your target audience right there. Your experiences are going to give you the clue. And then the last actionable step that I recommend is that start with one platform. This is Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, whichever you prefer. Start with one. Don't overwhelm yourself and start with 3, 4, because you're going to go crazy. Start with one. Learn, put content. Didn't work, let's do it again. Didn't work, what can do again? And whoever starts following you, connect with them. Hey, thank you so much for connecting. Are you enjoying this type of content? Why are you enjoying it? Start getting to know the people that are following you. And those 3 actionable steps is how you can start. Does this mean this is everything you need to do? No, it's a start. Then we have to fine tune different things and make it look good, but start there. And if you're scared, start. Doesn't matter and it's going to suck and it's going to look, maybe your first videos are going to look horrible and you're going to cry because maybe you don't know how to edit. That's okay. Because when you become good at that is what you can teach others. So everything that you experience, save it in your box and say, I can teach this later on in my life. Everything, take it like that, recycle it, because you always are going to see that people are going to learn so much from you.
Yeah, you just need to be one step ahead than the people you're coaching. And that's not that difficult, really. It's
no.
When I come to realization like 10 years ago about that, I was like, oh, damn, why didn't nobody told me this? Why nobody ever told me that I just need to know 1% more than the person I'm showing to, I'm trying to coach or share my experience with. And sometimes that 1% can be mind-blowing information, right?
Yeah,
It's
like you have so much knowledge on ads, and so many people have zero clue. Like, I really don't know. But someone like you can truly help me because you have experience that I don't have, and you have experienced things that I haven't. So your knowledge helps me. So let's talk about someone else that knows about business but has no clue how to build a brand. So they know about business, but they have no clue how to show up or how to talk to people about what is that they do. So you have to always focus on how can you complement yourself with someone else. That's the way.
So how amazing is social media?
Wow, social media has so much power. Like, it's incredible. It's how you use it, which matters a lot. A lot. If you have told me like 10 years ago, when I wasn't even thinking about entrepreneurship, 20 years ago, you tell someone, hey, you're going to make money through the internet, I think people would have laughed at you. It was like, are you crazy? Like, that is impossible. Like, everything that I have built has been through my laptop or through my iPhone. And I heard this term today. It's called DBL, digital body language, which means you have to understand when you're talking to clients virtually, when you're talking to people through text, everything, how they communicate digitally, and how can you hook them? How can you talk to them? How can you close a client? That's an art, because you're doing everything virtually. And social media has allowed so many people to build a business from nothing, and to learn that you only need a laptop, good Wi-Fi, an iPhone, and persistence. You need persistence. That's what you need, because honestly, entrepreneurship is not easy at all. And I get why some people quit. I get it. I understand. I'm not judging, but I get it. So yeah.
It's not an easy game, but it's never been easier in the history of humankind. Mm-hmm. Like, just like 10 years ago, like me and you would never have a chance in the world, in the big world, if you compare it to now, if you compare it to today.
Yes.
Right? Never. We will be stuck wherever we will be stuck, and I'm tired of listening all the traditional media and all the narrative about how bad social media is and how they try to restrict it. That's the same thing like saying money are bad because there are bad people who have money, or cars are bad because there are bad people who drive cars, or
exactly.
Alcohol is bad because they are alcoholics. Like, it's the same stuff. Like, it's your
stuff.
Personal responsibility to not be a dumbass, right? So I never liked or used social media, like, ever, until I spent 7,000 British pounds for a business plan. What is, like, 10 years now? And the business plan was like, you need to run ads, and this is how you do it. And I was like, oh, I need to create accounts now. And I didn't make content, right? I just made the accounts, I post later. Then, like, the more like dumb content, and I used it to generate leads. And I'm happy that I never been on the consumer side, even though I scroll quite a lot right now. And I'm like, what are you doing? I just leave the phone, but I never been like consumer in the social media. Like, I enter in the world as like somebody who benefits out of it. From the beginning, I didn't even have Instagram when everybody had Instagram. I was like, you're crazy. Like, why do you do that? And I just can't believe when I hear people talking like bad, our kids are on social media. I'm like, yeah, teach them how to make money on social media, or teach them how to make content, or teach them, I don't know, whatever, right? It's like, their computers are bad because they're hackers, right? I'm like, yeah, they're bad people and good people, right? So if you waste your time,
exactly.
you waste your time. And if you
100%.
are smart and you use it, and I believe we live in extraordinary times, like freaking never before. And I actually think it's never been easier, like for everybody to say, fuck off to the world and do whatever you want. Like, I don't think so. It's ever going to be easier as well. But what I find more difficult is I want people to understand that starting and building it is not as hard as trying to scale it, right?
Yes.
So I want to ask
That's
you,
so well said.
What is your biggest challenge you faced in your business since your beginning until now? We talk about everything. Like, for example, my biggest challenge is I'm really crap at hiring people. Like, I have zero corporate experience. I had corporations. I never worked. I said, like, I'll do whatever it takes. I'm not wearing that suit, and I'm not going to listen to Miss Nancy because I believe I'm a million times smarter than her. That was always me. It doesn't mean that was right, but that was so I don't have that corporate experience. So one thing I know I'm terrible at is like hiring people, and I want to scale more, but like I'm losing a lot of money on hiring, sacking, like not being able to find people that are really good at it because I just don't have the skills to recognize that, right? So that's my biggest problem. What is the biggest problem you faced in your journey as a individual entrepreneur, a solo entrepreneur, or whatever it's called?
So I would say two things. One is self-criticism. I think that as entrepreneurs, and when you're a solopreneur, when you're starting, if you don't pay attention how the way that you speak to yourself, you're going to criticize everything that you do. So maybe you did and you lucked an amazing client. And you're going to say, but that's not enough. And so I had always that mentality, like I closed it or closed 2, 3, and I felt amazing, but I always tell to myself, but it's not enough. Now, it doesn't mean that you cannot be ambitious, but you have to accept your wins. You have to say, okay, you didn't close the 5 that you wanted to close, but you closed 3. Celebrate that. Don't criticize yourself for that. So that I had to learn that because always I was like, I did it, but it wasn't enough. So I never accepted a win. Oh, and that was so hard for me. I'm still learning, but it's something that I want to push myself to always do better and better and better. But in all those, you have to accept that entrepreneurship is not like a perfect plan. Things are not going to happen as you want to. You have to make the best out of it. You have to make the best to make that plan happen. But it's not written in stone that everything's going to happen like that every month. Like you have to roll with the punches. You have to. You have to accept that sometimes it's not going to be as you expected. Sometimes it's going to be even better than you thought. So that's one thing. The second thing will be, it's not hiring, it's trusting the people that I wanted to be part of my team, you know? That takes me a while because first of all, I receive too many DMs all the time. Hey, hire me. Hey, work with me. Hey. So it's overwhelming. So that is like, it's too overwhelming and everybody has edited for this guy. So for now I have 10,000 people that DM me that have edited for Alex Hormozy. So there you go. That's not true. And also it's because I do give people a chance, but sometimes it's like they promise things and they don't come through. So it's like, for me, values, if you're going to promise me this, that you're going to do this type of work, I expect you to do it. So I have to deal with that learning from experience because sometimes some people out there in social media, and you have to learn this, they're going to promise you everything. And then when you start working with them, not even a quarter of what they promised in their offer is going to happen, you know? So it's it's accepting that some people are not as you expect them to be. I'm learning that too.
I learn as well the same thing that goes. Everybody wants money, but nobody wants to make money. Everybody loves money, but everybody hates because everybody talks about how they want to make more money, but they, once they understand what they need to do in order to get from A to B, then it's like, this is hard. Oh, I don't want it. Well, what I find, I don't know, is it generational thing or stuff or geographical thing? I don't know anymore. Is it's not about only like doing the job, but it's being like you can show anyone how to do stuff, right? What annoys me personally is lack of how do you say it? What was the right word for that? Proactivity.
Accountability,
right?
productivity.
No,
okay.
I don't see proactivity in people, right? They're like, you tell me what I need to, like, I think that's a society thing now. Like, oh, you've been paid this much and I'm just going to do that, right? And I'm going to expect more just because I expect more, just because there is a strike on the street that tells me I deserve more, rather than understanding the possibilities of social media, the internet, understanding like just the fact that you as Carina Belmonte are here and they're there and they're not really proactive to say, how can I actually, I'm doing what I am supposed to be doing, but how do I help Carina so she can do more, because with her I will grow too, right? So like any job I ever did, like I did the best I can. I had to clean the toilets in the restaurant like 10 years ago, and I was the best freaking cleaner in the world when I came to England, right? With my degrees, I could just junk them in the bin, right?
Yes, 100%.
And I always
know
did
that
like,
feeling.
okay, I used to sell clothes in a big shopping center. I was like number one salesman every single freaking day for no percentage, just like that. Just because I'm going to be the best of everybody here. There was like 60 people selling on the shop floor, right? And I just can't stand people that are not like that. Like personally, I just don't even want to go for a coffee with them anymore. I'm like,
me too.
Loser.
I feel that.
Go away.
I feel that.
So that's one thing. Like I've tried to tell people this is much harder to get a good team than just starting and building your idea. When people say, oh, but where do I start? It's so hard. I'm like, no, it's not. These are small problems you have right now. Getting clients it's never been easier than in the history of humankind. Never. Imagine we didn't have social media. How are you going to get your clients? Do you have an idea?
It will have to be going to networking events, which I don't like. It's not that I don't like talking to people, don't get me wrong, but I don't like to go into networking events, looking for clients. No, I want to meet people, and if they became clients, great. But I'm not one of those people that needs to go to every networking event. I can't. I don't like it.
Because everybody tried to sell to you too, right?
Yeah.
So it's just like,
and so everybody's like, so what is your Instagram account? And what does it do? And, I do this and I do that. Do you want it, my service? I'm like, I'm just here to meet people. And if it happens, great. And I like meeting people. I like talking to people. But when they become a place where everybody's pitching you their offer, oh my God, I can't. I prefer not to go. Honestly.
Yeah, you mentioned receiving a lot of cold DMs and stuff, right? So
yes,
as much as I don't like it as well, right? But I respect the grind. I'm like, you really need to have like courage to do that.
Yes.
And I know that these people, if they were in sales, they will do tremendously, but probably nobody told them they need to go in sales yet. Sometimes I talk with them, and actually probably the best people I hired are just cold callers that just DM me, right? So I have 2 people I hired like that. I gave chance to over 100 this year, probably for different things. But I tried to hire like the traditional way, friends of family, find somebody I think they're smart and things like that, and that just didn't work. Like these guys are just killing it, you know. They're freaking killing it. And from now on, I'm like, you know what? From now, I'm gonna hire only people who send me cold DMs. You know, only people who
And
send me cold
nothing,
DMs.
I'm not against cold DMs, like, because sometimes you'd have to do it and you might be surprised. You might luck incredible clients that maybe they were thinking about looking for someone like you, but they didn't find it. Or I'm not against it. I'm just against the types of cold DMs. Like, for example, let's give you an example. If someone on Instagram or LinkedIn, where it's a world of cold DMs, writes to me, hey, X, whoever, hey, Carina, how are you? I have this offer, blah, 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 and talks to me about the offer instead of just saying, hi, whatever, Carina, how are you? I saw that you are doing this, you're doing that. I focus on marketing. I would like to connect with you. That's a cold DM. I have never known them ever before. They're DMing me from nowhere. But it's a nice cold DM. It's an introduction DM. They know your name. They're not pitching you. The one that I'm against is the one they have never spoken to you and they immediately pitch the offer. Because I always say, in every situation that you are, when you meet someone for the first time, that's a cold connection. You're meeting them for the first time ever. It's how you introduce yourself that matters. In a party, in Instagram, on a networking event, how you introduce yourself to that person is how it matters. So if you're listening to this, please just don't go on Instagram and pitch immediately your video production services or your copywriting services. Ask the person, or, hey, it's great to connect. I do this and that. Can we talk another, whatever it is, but don't pitch your service. That looks so desperate, so cringy. Every time I receive a cold DM, I imagine myself that I'm in an event and someone just walks to me and immediately spills everything that they of their lives, and I have never met them before. I will be like, ugh, don't talk to me. I don't know you. Get away. Or the person that writes to you and doesn't stop, you know?
Oh yeah. Okay.
That's a stalker. For me, you are a stalker. I put you in a little box, stalker. Right there.
Yeah. The one that I really don't like is the one that don't actually check who they're texting.
Oh.
So I get quite a lot of these people trying like, hey Ivan, how are you? I can see you crushing it. How's business going? And I'm like, what are you selling, brother? Oh no, I'm not selling. I just want to connect. Like, tell me what you're selling. You know, like, what is the next question? What is my biggest struggle? Right? Did you freaking read my bio at least? Or did you watch a single video? Oh yeah, but we help you get leads. Like, why would I need your freaking leads when I know how to run ads? You freaking idiot. Right? Like, but we have a system. Like, which system do you have, bro? These platforms are made for freaking ads. Like, Facebook pay his employees. The Facebook stock price of the stock depends of how much money am I going to spend. Like, why do I need to explain you that, or to anyone in the world? Or all these coaches or whatever they are running ads, like, I'm going to help you make money without spending money on ads. Then why are you running a freaking ad? The sad story is at the moment I'm running ads like that for somebody else, but I'm getting paid, so. But, you know, it's like, why? Like, read. Like, read.
Exactly.
You didn't even read.
Yes,
like,
yes.
If
One
I'm running
time
ads,
this guy, like, for example, one time this guy told me, hey, Carin, I can see you're a life coach. And I'm like, dude, read the bio. I'm not a life coach. Like, can you read? And he told me, yes, I can read. I'm like, well, I'm not a life coach. I'm a personal practice coach, so you cannot read. I get mad sometimes, but I get up to here. I'm like, I'm done. I don't want to keep like dealing with these guys. I can't.
So, Carina, how do we make money on the internet?
So the first thing that I will tell you is you have to make money. People got to know you, right? But to know you, you need to build a brand. You need to build a message and put your purpose out there and build a vision and mission of what you want to do. That's how people get to know who you are. If they don't know who you are and you want to be a coach or entrepreneur, you want to be known so you can then sell your product, how are you going to make that if people don't know you exist? So everything starts with branding. Then branding comes to marketing. Then we have, because marketing, you market what you brand. You cannot market anything that is like, what are you going to market if you don't even know where you're marketing? So many people do this. It's like, I just want to market my offer. Okay. But do you even know if people want to invest in your offer? Have people organically invested in your offer without ads? Do they even know who you are? Do they know you exist and how can you help them? No. And you want to invest in marketing because I see everybody doing it. So that's when you lose money. So you want to make money, start with understanding your brand. Establish a strong brand so you can market that brand. That's how you can do it. So market it by putting content out there, by investing in ads, by putting your message out there. But you need to have a brand to do this. It's like, I see many people, a great example, I think, is authors, which is the best example. They write this book, they're passionate about it, and nobody knows they are authors. Nobody knows they exist. Not even, like, they don't know anything about them. And they're like, but my book is not selling. But if people don't know who you are, what do you expect that is going to happen? Oh, well, but so they always make this mistake. They do it the other way around. You know, they want to market themselves, but they don't know who they are. And then they're mad because the marketing is not working. And they say, marketing doesn't work. No. It's not that marketing doesn't work. It's that you don't know who you are. That's it.
And a lot of people make the mistake of I see this quite often, even with people we work for long term. It's like the change you do all of these things. Things have changed a lot since social media appeared. So more people can be exposed to so much more information. So people are not just going to be like in the 80s, see a commercial on TV and just go like, oh, I need that pan, that pot, and that set of knives is like what I really need, right? And most of people are still very strongly want to stick to what they initially imagined, right? Rather than using social media as a test tool. Like, my favorite thing to do is use social media, specifically ads, to find what people actually want, rather than me telling them this is what you need, right? And sometimes that doesn't mean changing a product. That just means don't position it the way you want to. I will never say this. I'm like, why? But that's what people want to hear. So do you want to sell, or do you want to just say things the way you want to say them? Right? And a lot of people don't have the success they deserve because they just stick to what they believe it's supposed to be, rather than be open-minded and use social media, ads, content, whatever, to experiment and to find what actually people want. Like, prime example to that is social media growth. Like, with these people that spike suddenly on social media is not because they're saying what they want to say. It's just because they do research and they try just to do what works. And that's why they get bigger following. It's not because what they say, what actually people need to hear, but it's more about what people want to hear, right?
Exactly.
So if you're creating content, I know so many people that had 500 followers, and now I'm going and they're like 200,000, and I'm like, okay, let me see what happened. And I see they just talk videos about ChatGPT, right? When ChatGPT came out, they make 10 videos, they went viral, and that's it. At that point, people wanted to hear that. They gave it to them. Are they making money out of it? That's a different conversation. I don't know.
Exactly.
I'm just saying, like, it's the same with being online and market yourself or your brand. Sometimes people just don't understand that the possibility that social media gives them to. Like, don't build a product until you have a valid proof. I mean, to sell it. Like, if you have an idea of something, go and sell it first. Like, people are like, I need a brand, I need logo, I need a website, I need this. I'm like, no, you don't. Go and sell one. Can you sell one? Like, sell one and I'll build everything for you in 1 week to start. And then you can, like, go and do the finances and stuff. But If you
Yes.
like go sell something, you don't know, I need an accountant. I'm like, no. Oh, I need a company, I need a Stripe account. I'm like, no, you need to close one deal.
Yes.
Close
If you
one
can
deal.
sell it organically because people like it, good, you have proof. Now then you can inject whatever marketing you want to. But if organically you have never been able to sell not even one, that already is telling you a lot of information. That is telling you everything. Maybe you have to change a few things, or maybe the way that you show it, that you explain it is not the best way. But some people believe, and this is what I heard from your content, is that some people believe that ads are magical. So I did one ad, it should work because I already did one. I'm like, no. It's like, what? It's like for example, it's like creating, let's give you did one piece of content, right? You posted one time on Instagram. It didn't go viral. Why didn't it go viral? Maybe because first of all, you didn't do the investigation well, maybe because you have never done it before. So it's, taking the time to understand. And you cannot expect magic with an ad. You have to test it, change the copy, change this. Like I learned from you. It's not one thing.
Oh no, it's exactly the same like creating content or doing anything else. Like there's no way you can crack the code. A lot of when the platforms are brand new, right? When Facebook went on the stock market and they basically invented the advertising, they started making money, so they went public. There's a lot of people that made a lot of money, but like just putting it there because the rest of the world didn't know about it yet. These Grant Cardones, Mark Cardones, right? They knew what Facebook is going to do. They knew what the algorithm does. They Ty Lopez's and stuff. Like they made millions and millions and millions of dollars. But today the platform is matured, the audience is matured, so you can't just go and run an ad and make money anymore. It takes 100 times the effort that it took these guys to buy their private jets at the time. So if you're not, I was not smart enough when the platform was out to understand and know. I was a dumbass working in the gym. I'm talking about knowing algorithms and stuff, right? But the people who knew at that time, they didn't really need to do anything. They just needed to run an ad. There was no competition on the platforms, right? They're like the first educators. Wow, like I'm going to learn how to make money fast. Yeah, and they made a lot of money, right? But today, it's you really, really have to try many different marketing angles. You need to try to see what people actually like. And even when you find what people like, it doesn't mean it's going to last forever because consumers' behavior changes on seasons.
Well said.
Like people don't behave. Like if you start running ads, you cannot expect to have the same results in November and December and then January and February. That's just a ludicrous idea. Like people spend more money in certain time. Like now the war started in Palestine and Israel. I mean, that war always been there. Now it just escalated. People will spend less money because they're like, oh my God, Third World War starting again. So, okay, they say the housing market crashed 30%. Like if you have a house and you just lost 200,000 of the value of your house, you're just not going to wake up today and be like, oh, let's spend some money, right? It has nothing to do with your marketing efforts. You need to understand all of these things and you need to be able to plan and be ready to keep on doing what you're doing while these things happen. So you need to understand all of these things. You can't just go like, well, I went to Canva and I spent 3 minutes and I created a post and I posted it and nothing happened. And then I paid this person there to run an ad and the ad didn't work. So Facebook is a scam. You know, it's like, come on, guys. Like, don't invest if you like. There's the thing, like if you have the time, do a lot of content, do follow-up, do all of that. But very quickly, you're going to get to a point when you don't have time to do that.
Exactly.
Right? And that's the lead magnet that the platform gives it to you. The platform says, we have an amazing platform. You can build a business to a certain level, and then you're busy. Right? Like then you can't just engage for hours. You can't just do research all the time. Now you need to grow a team. Now you need to find out how to automate all that, how to get the attention. And now it's time to start using the prime options of our platforms. And I see like my new account is like totally dead since the moment I created it. So I don't get to reach more than 50 views. Like 50, if it passed 50, it's just crazy, right? And I don't know what's going on. But I can also see a lot of huge accounts, right? Like they haven't moved for a very long time. Like 200,000, and I go and I see the views, and they're like 5,000 views, 3,000 views, like now 500,000 people, only 5,000 views. That's equal -5 in comparison with my account. And I can see a lot of people talk about, oh, you're rich, this is how I get rich. Like, no, like sometimes the platform just says, we're fed up of you, come and spend some freaking money. Like, how long we should tolerate your behavior here, right? And that happens. And they got TikTok, they catch TikTok, that there's people behind the desks that pressing buttons who to give rich to. There's people there that decide, let's shadow ban this person. Okay, let's give more rich. Oh, that's funny, right?
Yes.
I don't know if that happens in Facebook. We don't have the proof, but there was proof from TikTok employee. That's how it works. And in the end, you have to come to a point where you have to do that sooner or later.
Agreed.
And whoever said that's not true, it's just they're liars. There's a reason why even the
Mosseri
biggest guru
said
are
that's
doing
not
it.
true. Adam Mosseri,
Yeah?
he said, Adam Mosseri, the head of Instagram, that's not true. I'm like, okay. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, and he also said that social media is all about entertaining. So unless you're an entertainer, it's very difficult, right? Like if you're not entertaining the audiences, they are not going to give you the reach. So that's another fine print here. Like, do you want to be a clown? You don't want to be a clown, right? Like,
yeah, that's why I see sometimes coaches dancing and doing, and I'm like, really?
well, they're doing what they've been told by their coaches, right? And it works because it gives them the reach. People like it, and they make money. And listen, some people are successful in doing that, and that's great.
Yeah,
that's great. But if you're starting, you need to. I think you should first learn sales. And you need to go and talk to a random person and close a deal, because nothing else matters. Because what if you go viral and you don't know how to sell?
Exactly.
What
Like,
do you do?
I will always go back when I talk about dancing. I don't know if you saw the case of this doctor on TikTok that they took her medical degree, her doctorate degree, because she was dancing. She was she did like liposuction to her clients and all that. And she finished botching, like screwing up some of the operations with her clients, because she was dancing on TikTok, getting views. And while she was operating, she was doing the dancing. Like, it was happening. And some of her clients like had really bad results. So when I see that, I'm like, I get it. You must have fun. You have to enjoy also the process of social media. I am all for it. You don't always have to be so serious. Yes. But if you're my doctor and you doing an operation or dancing and jumping, honestly, I will be freaked out if I do anything with you. Or if you're my lawyer and the only thing that you're doing is dancing and joking and seeing, and it's my immigration case, I'll be freaking out. I wouldn't know if I take you seriously, or are you an actor? What are you? You know, it's there has to be a fine balance between those, having fun and screwing up and losing your license because of that.
And that's the reason I think a lot of people don't start, because they see and they're like, oh, I need to be this kind of a person in order to grow, right? In order to get clients. But in the end, like, if you are fearless to go and reach out to people and talk to people, you don't have to, like, you know, like be like with my first account. I got my first client when I had like 200 followers, yeah? Via social media. Like, I don't have to have 5 million views to do that, and then I spread the network from there, etc. So that's why also people are not starting using the platforms for their benefits, because they see all these people and they're like, I don't want to do that, or I'm not funny, or why should I do it? Nobody is going to want to watch me or talk to me, right? Because they see this, and But in the end, like that's what the social media platform sees for 90% of the people, entertainment. So, but you don't have to fit in that mold, do you?
No, you don't. You don't. It's starting with, like, I have seen successful, like, incredible platforms of people just talking about rocks. I have no interest in about rocks. Zero. But there's a lot of people that do, and they're very interested in learning about rocks and minerals and crystals. And I have seen them grow crazy because they took something they really enjoy and they started talking about it, and then they discovered other people that are really interested in knowing about crystals and rocks and minerals. So it starts by really understanding what you're passionate about, and not only passion. Can you make money from this? Can you make something out of this? Because I am passionate about, I love watching movies. Now, am I going to make a channel of me myself watching movies? No, I'm passionate about movies. I love them. But there has to be a fine line between, yes, I'm passionate. Will this sustain my life, help me pay my bills, help me to have a good, healthy family? Like, also has to be there, like a fine balance. If you want, you can have a hobby, which is amazing. And you don't need to have the hobby to be, be a business at all. You deserve to have a hobby and a passion. Of course you do. But if you want to get in social media and you want it to work for you and make money for you, there has to be a fine line into, this is a passion of mine or this is going to give me money. Like, there has to be a connection between both, but you have to be realistic because you have to, you live in a country where you need to pay your bills and you need to have a roof over your head. So you have to take into account all of those, because sometimes I feel that what people put on Instagram or on TikTok, sometimes it's not what reality is all about. It's like, they want to sell this course of how you can dance and do this thing and do this, that. Yeah, but it's not for everyone. And not everyone is going to just want to do that to get clients. And some clients are fed up with that. They just want solutions to the problems that they have. So you have to pay attention. Don't scare yourself because you see other people dancing or talking about rocks. Like you said, starting is easy. Scaling is the hardest thing. And that's another problem. That's another thing. But you have to start to understand that part. You have to.
Yep. And for the end, I have one question for you. Basically, it's two questions in one. Okay. What is the best part of being your own boss and what is the worst? We know you have to work 24/7. So what is the best part? What is the worst?
The best part. Let's start with the best. No, let's start with the best. The best part is that I have the opportunity of screwing up and making mistakes and learning from them and building my self-awareness. That's the best part. Entrepreneurship has given me so much growth, so much self-discovery, has taught me who I am and how can I face my problems, and has also taught me to breathe, to understand that not everything happens overnight. It has taught me so much about my mindset. And I'm so grateful because of that, because I believe no work would have ever taught me that. I felt like in these 3 years I've been an entrepreneur, I learned more than any job I ever had. I learned more about myself, about my patience, about how to make sales, about how to start over if I screwed up. Like, it gave me resilience. And no job has ever given me that to me. Never. I worked as a video producer. I worked in a gym. I worked as a director of a media company, and no job has ever given me what in these 3 years of entrepreneurship has taught me. Now, that's the best part, that I build my self-awareness, my mindset, and my resilience. The worst part is that I am very tough on myself. So I say that I have the worst boss. That boss that, no, you won't have fun today. You have to focus, work, finish up, get another client, finish the month strong. No, like, yes, I rest sometimes, but I'm always on. And not because I don't like, I have to, I like it. I like being on it. I'm ambitious, and it's something that I need to do. Like, I need to do because I want to. So it's that part that you're always on. So maybe for some people, they don't know about entrepreneurship, or they don't even have ever thought about building their business, must be like, but why do you want to do that? Like, why won't you just get a normal job and get your paycheck? It's something that is inside of you that you cannot just accept going to a 9 to 5 and that's it. It's something that is bigger than you.